Hello everyone, welcome to Outrun the Fog. Today we have a very special match. We have Elysium versus Eternal, two titans of the DVD comp community. And they're going to be at it. Wesker on Coal Tower. We got Kiko killing first for Elysium versus Dan, Kaz, Pedro, and Zaka on the Survivor side. Looks like Kiko's going to be finding first Survivor, taking chase here in the middle of the map on this filler pallet top mid. Going to be breaking with that brutal strength and zoning him towards the top side. Bounding up towards him. Gets a nice little connection there and gets the hit onto that tree, taking it to the next filler pallet in the corner of the map. Swings through, does not quite get the hit, and is going to be continuing the chase here at the top side of the map. Breaking pallet, zoning back towards the tile. We have Dan coming in for a hit right now. Kiko might be trying to get around it. Can't quite do it, but gets another injury. That's going to be 2 injuries at 5 generators. A really good amount of pressure here coming from Elysium's side. Kaz gonna keep running down to the bottom of the map here towards the shack now. Trying to make the chase as difficult as possible, and Kiko continuing on in the chase. Shack Pelt's gonna go down now. Another resource gone very early, and Kiko gonna be bounding around. Does not find Kaz. Now Kaz is still in shack and running around the backside of it, just trying to waste as much time as possible since there are no pallets remaining over here. Might be trying to look for a way to get to the pallet now. Doesn't make anything, and gets thrown into the double window, not quite landing the connection in the down. Kaz can waste a little bit more time here before going down, but it's going to result in the down. But it looks like they were ready for that, and we're doubling a gen to make sure it got done before the first down. So that is going to be first hook at 3 generators. That's an insane amount of gen pressure coming in from Eternal.
Just getting started.
Hook comes in, and Kiko's going to be going towards the popped generator, going up the top of the map here. See scratches in main. We'll have to see what Kiko decides to do. It looks like they want to stay around the hook right now. Maybe trying to secure second stage, considering there's going to be no gen pressure at the moment, since the gens just popped. Finding Zaka on the edge of the map. Doesn't quite land the connection. Gonna press onwards. The unhook does happen, so it's gonna go back, and I wonder if he's going to choose to tunnel or not, considering the number of gens they are at right now. Got multiple survivors here. Finds Kaz again. Gets the down. Very excellent connection here. That is gonna be second hook for Kaz, although with the pain res nerf, they're not going to be able to get another pain res off of that, so they have to be very careful and make sure that they can pressure these generators. Although, as you'll note, he also has no way out, so he can play around for endgame as well if needed. Looking around for any survivors who might be stealthing for the save. Doesn't look like he's able to find anyone. Failed skill check on the gen over there. I think Kiko's aware of where most survivors are at this point. They're spread on 3 generators, it would seem, across the entire map, which is going to be very hard to pressure. So I think he might opt to just camp this to death. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be coming in for save. I think we're seeing the classic Eternal letting someone die on hook, pressuring through generators, and playing Eternal in the 1v3. As we are all aware, this is kind of where they shine. They're going to have a lot of gen pressure going into this 1v3, so it's going to be very hard to get a good amount of stages here, especially if they play very safe, which I think they will. That's going to be Kaz dead on hook now. Coming over to the hill, gen over here. As we know, there's no shack pallet here anymore, so this could be a very good connection and a hit here, but doesn't seem to find the survivor quite yet. Just dry kicking the gen. 2 generators popping for that kill, and yeah, we're going to have to see how Kiko's able to keep up with this pressure. He does have a bit of a 3-gen on this side of the map. This is what he's opting to play here. Finds Pedro. Another resource down in this 3-gen broken. Nice firecracker from Pickle there, making sure that Kiko can't get that second bound, so that's not going to be a tag, although Dan coming over here to this weaker tile, he is taking chase over on these windows. This could very easily be a hit, and there's the connection. Dan going to be running out of the 3-gen now. You do not want to get down here. That would be very big problems for the team, but I think Kiko's fine just tagging and leaving, just applying as much pressure as possible until he can catch someone in a good spot. Dan already had a spray on him, so he's not going to have to worry about that for now.
Playtime.
Very excellent connection from Kiko, and that's going to be a down. Onto Dan. Before they really have a chance to get much more pressure on the gens, I think the hill gen is all they really have a good amount of pressure on, and if this is another pain res, it is not a pain res. So that's going to be no pain res into the 3 gen here. Kiko's going to come back and play his generator setup. We need Dan getting unhooked. Kiko following the survivor who was here a second ago. Dan already reset, probably will make it underhook there, and now everything is mostly reset, although an extra stage on the board through all that exchange.
Do you actually think you can
Really nice connection there. Zaka takes the injury, and now Zaka's probably going to run over to the main building now. I think Kiko might have to drop chase here, unless he can get a really early... Oh, Zaka getting a little stuck there, and it's gonna go down under the pallet. If someone's around for pallet save, this could be bad, and it looks like they are wasting time. Probably just trying to get time on that gen. Oh, that's gonna be another connection. That's a lot of pressure here from Elysium's killer. Dan gonna vault the window and run away. Looks like Kiko's gonna go back and opt to pick up, maybe hoping for a pain res before they can pop the generator. Maybe looking around for a hook. I think he has his eyes set on one, so I'm gonna assume this is a pain res, and that could potentially stop a generator from popping. That's gonna be pain res and a failed seal check, so that's gonna be 35% regression, which is quite a lot. So it looks like Kiko's perfectly fine, looking for Dan, who is now injured and hindered on the main building side here. I think Pedro might have to rotate up and get pulled before Dan goes down here. Or they might just opt to get the generator done and play for that win con. But landing the connection onto Dan, and that could be another pain res, and this is looking like way too much pressure for Eternal to be able to keep up with. Considering the start they had, it looked kind of like it was going to be very few stages going into endgame, but Kiko proved me wrong, and that's another pain res. He's in a very, very good spot here to 4K, maybe even a 4K1 if played correctly. He's looking around for Pedro, who is right now probably hiding for his life, trying to find a way to recover the current situation with 2 people unhooked on the same side of the map, and a 3-gen setup still intact. Finds Pickle, gets the connection. Pickle has to do something here. It looks like he's going to opt to get the unhook. Nope, not getting the unhook. He's going to throw the pallet and just play this tile. If Pickle goes down here, that would be a 4K1 for Elysium, which is a very good result for Mastermind Coal Tower. Looks like they're gonna start dying on hook, maybe giving Pickle a chance to make hatch, although it's gonna be quite the task, and he's not gonna make the throw onto the edge of the map there, and that is gonna be the down. 4K1 for Elysium's killer here, Kiko. Very excellent play. Eternal had such a strong start, but Kiko was able to keep composure and bring it back. You are never out of the game in DBD. You're one slip up away from a potential 4K. So both sides playing that well. Kiko coming out on top with the 4K1. So Eternal is going to have to try to match that result or better on their side if they want to secure a tie or a win for the set. So we will see you guys after the break. Hello everyone, welcome back to the second round of the first set here in Outrun the Fog. We have Nightlight on the Wesker here, running a full slowdown build with Brutal Strength, trying to secure at least a tie condition of 4K1, but a 4K2 would win the set here for Eternal, and he is going to be looking around here for any survivors, finding a survivor very early on, finds the Ace here, taking chase, Ace pre-drops the pallet, is going to be looping it. Looks like Nightlight going to be zoning, breaking with Brutal Strength. Can he get the connection here? He does get the connection. Ace going to be running up the map now towards the middle, it looks like. Vaulting the window and trying to make the eye pallet here, although it doesn't look like there actually is an eye pallet that spawned here. It looks like he's going to go down. It's on the other side, unfortunately. He's going to go down before he can make it, and that's going to be a very fast down here from Nightlight. Over on the bottom side of the map here. That's going to be a pain res hook as well. Very good early pressure here from Eternal's side. It's going to be searching around for the survivor who is working this generator, who might be stealthing off for the save. Doesn't look like he's able to find anyone just yet. Still searching around. It looks like 2 generators are most likely being worked on during this time. We have good pressure over here on the hill gen. Scratch marks going towards the main building. Pop goes the Weasel applied to the gen. That's going to be a very good amount of pressure. Starts making his way back. No one got the pull in that time, so they're probably just splitting on 3 generators. With the Xenos here, gets the pull. That's going to be a trade on Pain Res, which is going to be an insane amount of pressure here given to Eternal, picking up and going for another Pain Res. These generators are going to be hard to pop, considering the amount of regression that Nightlight is applying to them right now. He is now going to be chasing towards the bottom side of the map here, although he's taking it back to the middle. Vaults window. Finds him going up the map here. He decides to drop and play on Xeno's hook instead. Oh, does not quite get the connection onto the Mikhailo there. Is going to continue to chase. It looks like he wants to tunnel Xeno right now. He needs to get a tunnel out as early as possible to secure a 1v3 here and try to play his gen setup a little bit stronger. The car pallet here. First applying Pop goes the Weasel on a very far along gen here to just apply so much regression that's going to be hard to recover from it. Does not quite get the hit onto the Nia there. She's taking distance over to a tile now. It looks like Nightlight's going to be dropping that, decommitting and going for someone else, although heading back towards the main building. He hears someone upstairs, breaks the door, and is going to probably try to bait them into dropping. This is most likely balanced landing though. Going to be taking distance now towards top middle. Keeping the chase at main building, wasting as much time as possible. They really needed a chase like this to recover that generator time. Nightlight still searching around. Pallet gets pre-dropped, vaults pallet, and continues the chase here at the main building. Nightlight only has eyes for Xeno right now, trying to get this tunnel out as fast as possible. Lands the connection, very excellent from Nightlight there. That was exactly the amount of time waste that Elysium needed to pop some generators, and they might be able to recover from a little bit of a shaky start, although Xeno getting hooked in the generator spread right now could make things a little tricky for them, especially with that Pop goes the Weasel applying even more regression. That's going to be the first generator popping at 3 stages here. Finding someone going for the save, does not quite get the connection, is going to be looping the top mid for their pallet here, although dropping chase, finding the Mikhailo, pallet gets dropped. She does get the pull in time. That's going to be an injury, although the speed boost is going to be given to Xeno so he can run straight back to main building with his balanced landing. He could waste a very good amount of time here. They need to try to pop as many generators for this tunnel out. Xeno going to be taking chase, hopefully away from the generators here so that they can get time, but he needs to waste as much time as possible, so he's going to take it to the main building here. Xeno stuck on this car pallet, going to be taking even more distance. Can he make it to where he needs to go? Someone might need to come in for a hit. I don't think he can make anything from here. Looks like we have a hit take coming in. Does he make it in time? He does make it in time. Xeno makes the tile now, extending chase just by a little bit more. A tunnel out here would be catastrophic for Elysium, and Nightlight is not giving up. He is still in pursuit, trying to get this down. Xeno on the corner filler here, pre-dropping it and trying to play it. Gets Brutal Strength, though, gonna zone him towards the top side of the map where there is nothing here. Nightlight still continuing to chase. I don't think Xeno can make it to this pallet realistically. Nightlight swings for it and gets the down. Again, with the way Pain Res is now, that won't be a Pain Res for Xenos down, but it will be another Pop goes the Weasel. That's going to be a tunnel out here at 3 generators, although I wouldn't be surprised if more generators started popping soon. You see some resets coming in. They need to play this safe since they're now in the 1v3. Getting another hook by an active generator, although it does pop before Nightlight can apply. Pop goes the Weasel to it. Both survivors now healed. They wasted no time. 2 generators, 1v3. This is very dual from either side. They need to pop one more gen to secure at least the tie condition. Nightlight, if he can 4K this now, would actually win the set for Eternal. Nia going to be taking chase up the map here. Nightlight in hot pursuit, pre-dropping the pallet here. Mind gaming at the seawall, does not catch her off guard. She held W instead. Firecracker coming in, does not get the blind and is going to go down for it as well. This will be another pain res. I think Nightlight is going to have to play this very aggressively if he wants to secure that 4K too, and it looks like that might be what he's doing. He cannot play for camping, probably not playing for tunneling anymore either. He just needs to get hook after hook, applying pop and pain res as much as possible, although these generators don't seem very progressed at the moment. Nightlight looking around for anyone he can tag. I wouldn't be surprised if the survivors are ignoring the hook right now, although I could be wrong. They've got scratch marks coming in. It looks like they're opting to be aggressive on the hook. That way another generator can get popped. Nightlight just wants to get another quick down and maybe reset his pop goes the Weasel and go find the gen that they were working towards the bottom side. They're going to need a solid chase and they can't quite get it. That's going to be the down. And Nightlight going to be breaking the pallet and going to be picking up the Nia. Going to be hooking towards the active generator side now. He really wants this 4K2 if possible, although during this time a generator has been worked on, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to at least meet the tie condition with the time wasted on the other side of the map. They had an excellent job playing their death locations here. This gen pretty close, so it looks like they're not going to pop it. This is probably the gen they were working that whole time. Nightlight can't go back. They FTP as well to prevent a 1v2 situation from happening. Very smart from Elysium, just making sure they waste as much time as possible. Pop goes the Weasel onto the generator, and Nightlight gonna have to be in hot pursuit of someone. I wouldn't be surprised if he switched to the Ace here just to get another Pop goes the Weasel. Although it looks like he's not straying far from the gen, wants to make sure he can stop anyone from popping it, as he does not want them to meet the tie condition if he doesn't have to. With the generator spread on the map, though, I think it's going to be very hard for him to pressure all of these generators. So I would say that the tie condition is probably going to be met at least, and I wouldn't be surprised if Elysium could take the step by popping all the generators here, but I don't want to count Nightlight out yet. He has pulled off some pretty amazing things in his time, and he is going to be coming over to this side of the map, trying to secure this win condition. Find someone spraying. Doesn't want to chase. Here's the Ace at the main building. He knows who has the bounce landing, too, so he knows there's no bounce landing for this Ace. Doesn't get the bound. Ground out here, vaulting back into Nightlight, wasn't able to body block the window. Ground out going to be taking distance. Keeping the chase, main building. Trying to waste as much time as possible. If he wastes just a little bit more time, they might actually be able to pop the generator on the bottom side. Ground out taking chase over to the tank tracks pallet. This one is very, very hard to play. Versus Wesker doesn't quite get the stun as it's going to go through and to get the down. Nightlight slugging and just trying to prevent this generator from popping. Does not able to make it in time, so he's going to have to play for the tie condition here, which is not completely out of the question considering the amount of pressure that he has right now. If he can get this tag on the Nia, that could be extremely strong, although it looks like he's going to be opting to leave and pick up the Ace instead, getting more regression onto the board. I don't think Elysium has a lot of gen pressure in the current situation, and with the basement hook coming in too, I think this is definitely playable for the tie condition. And just as a reminder for those watching, in Outrun the Fog, a tie is kind of like both sides winning a set. So that would mean whoever wins set number 2, if this was a tie, that would be the win for whoever wins set number 2. So getting the tie condition here is pretty powerful if you want to secure a win, or at least, yeah, that's just how it is. So Nightlight going to be searching around for anyone coming here for the basement save. Doesn't seem like anyone's coming, although Nightlight wants to make sure no one snuck into basement, as a lot of teams do that. Don't think he wants to check every locker, though, because that would be a lot of time waste. He's going to be leaving the basement hook. I'm surprised how fine Nightlight is just camping this. He finds someone here, but, like, there's that generator all the way at Shack that he cannot pressure if he's camping this. I think he realizes that he's not going to be able to, so he leaves hook and goes down to Shack. He needs to prevent this from popping if he wants to meet the tie condition. He does secure the kill here. This gen is pretty far progressed. I think Nightlight showing a good amount of game sense there, showing that he knows exactly the amount of time he can camp in order to get the kill and also pressure the gen here. He was probably aware of how far along that generator was, although imagine they doubled that gen. That would have been both very stupid and also very smart in the current situation. He really needs to find whoever was on this generator because he needs to get it down before the generator top gets any more progress. As they're splitting 2 gens. He can't really afford to leave this generator because as soon as he does, and he finds the survivor here. Very excellent game sense looking around the general area. Pallet goes down very early. Brutal strength onto the shack pallet here. Michaela trying to pop the gen if possible. They're going to need a very solid chase from Laser here if they want to get the top side gen done. And he flares and is able to make it back around to shack. You're going to be taking the tag. And that's the last generator popping. Excellent play here from Elysium. Nightlight could not quite match the pressure. They had Nightlight had a strong start, but Elysium was able to bring it back with a couple of really solid chases at main building. That's kind of all they needed. Laser going to be dying over here on the bottom side of the map so that they can get at least the 1 out. Nightlight going to just pick up and accept that Elysium won the first set here. I would say that both matches were honestly really close, and that was a very solid first showing from both of these teams. Door's going to be open, and that is going to be Kiko, their Wesker player, leaving the trial. And that is going to be Elysium winning set number 1. And then we'll see you guys in set number 2 with the Doctor on Wretched Shop. Welcome everyone to set number 2. We got Doctor on Wretched Shop. One of my personal favorite sets to watch, actually. I think it's a really fun back and forth from both sides and just requires perfect play from both sides if you want to get on top, especially with the amount of restriction on Survivor side here. So, you're going to be seeing Zaka on the Doctor. He gets the shock onto 3 survivors here over by Shaq. Each survivor positioning well to make sure that they can have a solid chase no matter who he decides to commit to. Although finding one at the TL wall, which is probably the best situation he could find someone at. He's looking around, trying to zone them away from Shaq, manages to get a little mind game there, and is going to get the first tag very early on into the game and applying that sloppy butcher as fast as possible. As taking chase over here to the Shaq, pre-dropping Shaq pallet from the outside and running over to this filler over here. I think Xeno was trying to do a little mind game there, but wasn't quite able to manage it, so we could potentially be seeing a very, very early down here for a Doctor on Wretched Shop. Although we have a hit take coming in, that's going to be another sloppy butcher applied here. Able to make it back towards Shaq now, and it looks like Zaka opting to drop chase with Xeno and go over here. And shocking Ada over here, and I don't think Ada's going to make it into Shaq, running towards the middle now. Looks like there is actually an eye pallet here, so this could be potentially problems. He cannot commit to that chase, that Shaq needs to drop. So he has a couple injury pressure, but no down yet. That hit take pretty much came in clutch and probably is going to allow them to come back from the early start that they had. And Zaka just committing chase over here towards the main building side. Near active generators is the only problem with the current situation, although honestly just needs a pallet to make, and I don't know if they can make it. It's going to be another hit take coming in. That's a very high amount of pressure. It looks like Elysium got some unfortunate RNG, I'd say, with the tile setup. So they really have to play around these hit takes and play around really good positioning because they don't have a lot to work with once the God pallets go down. That's going to be another shock onto Ace. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to this pallet. That's going to be the down. Kiko trying to come in and take that hit, but wasn't able to make it. Going to get the pickup, and that's going to be a flashlight save coming in here. Amazing play. And Zaka going to have to try to secure another down for that generator pop, although he does have a couple injuries across the board, so he's not in the worst spot. But that flashlight save is going to completely recover this game. Taking chase over here onto the Ada is going to be able to get that hit, and running back towards the Shack. They really need to secure chases onto this side of the map if they want to have solid chases, because again, the tile setup towards the left side is kind of not so good. Running a filler pallet here. I don't know if they can make it back around with just a little bit of time, and is able to make it. That EU to EU, not able to hit that Pocos. I think to not break the pallet, wants to keep her here for as long as possible. Zaka playing around this rock. Looks like she's opting hold W, trying to do a little mind game there, going back and forth, but Zaka was also mind gaming at the same time, so that was just unfortunate. But this is going to be the first hook coming in. It took him quite a while to get this down, so very, very solid here. That's going to be a pain res, though, which will allow him to secure a little bit more pressure onto the board. Using Static Blast, find anyone who might be stealthing around for pull. Calm Spirit is also banned, I'd like to note, so he doesn't have to worry about looking for anyone if he does get a weird shock. Looks like no one was around for pull unless they were hiding in the locker, so Zaka just going to be playing, I guess, the gen setup he has kind of towards... Oh yeah, he kind of has a 3-gen, pseudo 4-gen down here that he could probably play. It's a little loose, but it's better than nothing, and it looks like that's what he's opting to do. As you all know, Doctor very good at camping hooks and camping stages out, so I think Zaka is doing exactly that, just playing around the hook and the gen setup that he has going on here. Venturing out a little bit more, a little bit further than I would imagine you would want to. Maybe someone could sneak in for save while he's up here, although it looks like they're opting to just work generators. Get as much pressure across the board for the second stage. Gonna be another generator popping. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw another one. Maybe a last second pull coming in, although I think it's a little bit too late for that. Second stage just come in. I'm curious to see whether Zaka will tunnel or play for fresh hooks here. Just a shock here onto our Adam. Firecracker coming in. That might be the hit coming in. That's going to be the hit. At least the resource wasn't used in the process. Zaka going to be going back to hook. Do they get the pull in time? Doesn't look like they do. It is worth noting that For the People is also banned for this tier of killer, so letting someone die on hook is perfectly legitimate for multiple reasons, but especially because they won't really have anything after the unhook. There's no anti-tunnel, there's no For the People. The only thing you could really do is support them with the head-on, so letting them die wouldn't be the worst thing, although it looks like they want to get this double save to just waste as much time as possible. Zaka just gonna get some injuries in the process. Applying good sloppy butcher, 3 people injured across the board, and he could definitely play for a tunnel out here if he wanted to. Talking the survivors, committing chase here. Looks like he is going to be going for that tunnel out. We have the eye palette here. Trying to zone him away from the pallet to make sure he can't drop it, although this is going to be a hard one to shock. It wastes a lot of time, especially if someone can come in for a hit take. I think they'd be perfectly fine taking it down to prevent the tunnel out too, just keep the pressure rolling. Although it looks like Ada pretty solid on this pallet. Again, it's very long, hard to shock. They might try to vault back if it doesn't look like they are. It looks like they'd rather take it down here so that they can make the main building. And I think Zaka, not giving up, wants this tunnel out as fast as possible. Some teams would probably opt for the pain res on that down there, but this is the tunnel out that Zaka wants. He has his eyes set on it. Very good shock avoid there. Just has to win this mind game. Holding W over to this side, gets mind gamed. It's very hard to play around that side of the tile. Very hard to see over. So a bit of a 50-50, but I would say excellent pathing, because if it did work out, that could have been a lot of time wasted. It's just very risky, and honestly, all you really had there for options. So well played there. Gonna be going onto the hook again. I keep saying it, but I think it's worth noting that there's gonna be no pain res for that hook, because even with if you're tunneling someone, you're not getting a lot of pain res from it. That's just kind of how the way the game is right now. I would say it's kind of fair, so I think that's fine. That's gonna be another solid pallet gone, and we have 3 injuries across the board in the 1v3, but an immense amount of gen pressure. That's gonna be another gen popping. I wouldn't be surprised if we're entering endgame somewhat soon, but we have injuries across the board, so there's gonna be some downs happening as well. Good amount of stages incoming, I would have to guess, unless Elysium can pull something out here, which, to be fair, that team is made of miracles. I've seen them pull out some crazy things, especially with shaky starts, and I don't think I would consider this a shaky start at all. I think this is actually pretty solid from them, and so this is really anyone's game. Doesn't quite make the window, and that's going to be a down. I wouldn't be surprised to see another generator popping, especially the one by Shaq. Looks like they're going to double it to secure it from popping before pain res hits. All depends on where the pain res hook is. It looks like this might be it, considering how fast Zaka is coming over to this hook. Going to be hooking. Are they going to get the gen in time? They just barely popped the generator. That's going to be securing at least a 4K1. But I don't know how much gen pressure they really have going here, especially with both of them being injured. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just lights out for Elysium, if Zaka can manage to get a down. Going to be stack blasting, trying to find where the other survivor is. He's aware of where both survivors are. He can prevent them from getting this hook save now. They can chase back towards the shock. You can waste a lot of time here, even without shock pallet. Although it looks like a well-timed shock here could prevent them from getting to the window. They're going to run around the backside of Shack. Excellent play here. Running towards the window setup. Can they make anything, or will this be the down? I think this is going to be the down, as they're not going to be able to make the filler with the shock here. Going around. Another shot coming in. Good amount of time waste here, considering the lack of resources, but that's going to be the down now. I think they need to find a way to reset, and it's going to be long reset, since, again, there's not a lot allowed. There's not a lot of reset perks around, so that's going to be another pain res. I don't think their gen pressure is doing so high right now, so they need to find a way to reset this pressure. They get 1 reset on the board at least. Looks like that's all they're really going to get. Finding the survivors here, going for the healthy one. Just saying, hey, I need to keep you guys injured, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Not able to get the pallet drop. That's going to be another tag here. This is going to be extremely hard to recover from Elysium. They had such a solid start, but the pressure Zaka's putting on is just immense. Another static blast comes in. Doesn't find anyone with it, so he knows that they are far away. Either rotating down the bottom side or rotating up the top side. Finds survivors still at the bus over here. This is broken bus, though. Not the strongest tile. Does get the mind game, and there's the down. Another solid down here. Will Zaka slug? It looks like Zaka's opting to slug. He wants to end this right here, right now. He's going back to hook. Can he prevent them from the unhook, or were they on top of things? They were on top of it, but now both survivors grouped up on the side of the map with not a lot of resources to run. Opting for the tunnel out here. He really wants to secure this as fast as possible. Trying to get into the 1v2 situation, although there is a filler pallet here that they can run if they're able to waste a good amount of time on it. Zaka just endlessly shocking, preventing them from getting to the pallet. No one is here to rescue with the hit take because everyone is injured. So much pressure put on from Zaka. That Sloppy Butcher doing really strong work right now. They do get the pickup. They might have to opt to reset here. Running to this edge map. Filler does get the drop in time, but I don't think there's really much that can be done here. That is going to be the down, and it's very unfortunate for Elysium, although it looks like Zaka's slugging again. He does not even want to let them reset. He wants to keep this pressure rolling the entire time. He wants this 4K1. Static blasting, see if he can prevent the heal from happening. Doesn't quite do it. Aces reset once again. Zaka looking around. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to tag the ace again. Playing the long game, and it seems to be working. That's going to be the head-on, wasting a little bit more time. They can make distance now. They can split up around the map, so this is not going to be lights out quite yet, although this is on the injured survivor. Ace has to rotate up and get the pickup and then reset. I don't think Adam can waste enough time on this tile, and does go down. Again, I'd like to note that I personally think the RNG is a little bit unfortunate for Elysium's side here, but they're playing it very well considering. I think another hook coming in. Not pain res. The pickup does happen. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the reset off in time. They do get the reset off in time. Very excellent. They can somehow recover this considering the circumstances. They just have to split up here. Finding, once again, chase on this filler pallet. Does get the shocks, not going to be able to drop it in time. That's going to be a tag coming in most likely. They can't make it anywhere. Gets the vault. Maybe another tag. Zaka winning all the 50-50s with these shocks and these fillers. Going back, dropping. Is he going to try to tag Ace once again and just keep the pressure rolling? Or is he going to tunnel out Adam here? Find someone at this filler pallet. It's a filler pallet into a tile, so it's not the worst situation. Although I think Zaka is zoning him away from the tile, making sure he can't make anything and has to play this filler. Yeah. Most likely just going to be shocked to death here. They cannot afford to take any hits. They just need to get some dim pressure going because they need to find a way to recover this. That's going to be another down. Zaka opting for the pickup. No more slugging. He wants his hooks now. He has enough pressure to keep things rolling. Looks like they don't have the gen pressure either as they are running around the map right now. Trying to figure out how to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to play for something more cheeky, a hatch, a bleed out, something along those lines. I don't think another generator is going to pop here because there's just no way to have a really solid chase in the current situation, especially with one injured. If Zaka is able to find the injured survivor, which exactly what happened. He's on the edge map filler here, and that's all he can really run to. He has bust, but he doesn't make it to the pallet. He does make it to the pallet, actually. No, he doesn't, actually. I'm wrong. And goes down for that. Unfortunate. Not a lot of resources to run to here, especially with it being broken bust, which is just an unfortunate spawn. And that's going to be another hook coming in from Zaka here. Have to see what these survivors end up deciding on doing, because 4K1 would be a very excellent result here for Eternal. That's definitely winnable on their side. Zaka looking around for the last survivor, who is not in tier 3, so there's not going to be any screams happening. So I think he's just waiting for static blast and is going to try to find the perfect spot, although I wouldn't be surprised if Ace were hiding in a locker somewhere just to avoid that. I think their only chance here... Oh, no, he gets found. This is going to be the final chase of the game. I don't think there's really a whole lot that can be done here on the filler pallet. Just going to keep vaulting it back and forth, trying to win those 50-50s. Gets tagged, and is now going to be taking distance towards Shaq. I don't think Xeno can die in time for hatch play. He's going to try, though. This is looking kind of close, actually. Although, shocking him, can he get there before the hatch? Can he body block it? I don't think he's body blocking it. I think Zaka's going to end up being able to close the hatch here. No, he jumps in! Oh my gosh, excellent play there from our ace. Actually able to block the killer from closing hatch and is able to jump in. That is an excellent recovery and is exactly what Elysium needed for their killer to have a solid win condition on their side. So we will see you guys in the next round and see who wins the second set. All right, everyone, welcome back. After an insane back and forth in the last game, the win con was extremely difficult to count, but it's looking like if Eternal wants to win this set, it's going to be somewhere around needing to like 8 or 9 stage, somewhere in those lines. It's going to be down to the wire with those amount of stages, so we're going to have to see how this goes. We'll have to count it as we go and figure out what exactly needs to happen here, but we do have Chase being taken here, and towards tile already. Pretty solid positioning, and as you can see, Zeno is playing the Doctor and opted to bring in a personal favorite of mine on the Doctor, Save the Best for Last, which is just so much fun. Very good for countering hit takes and getting some fast chases later on in the game as well, good for zoning, etc. But does find Obsession for first chase here. We also see that Sloppy Butcher to try to counter some hit taking in play, going for a shock here. Well timed, he won't make the window, but he should make the... Doesn't make the pallet either. Early hit take going to be needing to come in to prevent this down. There's going to be first stack of save, and Xeno's going to be switching over to this other target so that he can get some more stacks of save. Very excellent play here. Going to be heading over towards the crane. Well-timed shot to prevent this pallet from going down. It looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Taking chase here around the crane. Xeno going for another shock. Does get the drop in time, and we see another survivor coming in for the hit take. There's a lot of pressure already from the killer side here. Shocking around the crane. It's a very long loop, but it is definitely shockable. Looks like Chase is going to be taken over to this long wall tile. Xeno doing a little mind game. I think he makes the window, though. Yeah, that's the window. Xeno doing an excellent job here, just keeping him on this side of the map towards the active generators, although this chase is going on for quite a long time. Taking chase back towards Shaq. He's going to die under pallet. Hit take couldn't come in time, but now Xeno might be able to get another injury. Doesn't quite land the hit. EU to EU. No pain involved there. Gonna be another shot coming in. Trying to get him into tier 3 possibly. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to get him into tier 3 to stop generator progress from happening. He does end up doing it, but lots of time waste happening right now at this drop, or sorry, at this pallet with the survivor down under. That's going to be a tag coming in though. 3 stacks of save on the board. 3 injuries, one of them being a down. Xeno going to go for the pickup here. That should be no pallet save coming in here. Nope, doesn't look like it will be. Xeno going to be hooking towards the middle of the map here. Probably looking for a pain res. And that's exactly what happens. There's going to be the first pain res at 4 generators. Tough call. It could be anyone's game at this point. Xeno just playing off of madness, trying to get people shocked so they cannot work generators. Currently has 1 in tier 3. Survivors are a little grouped up on this side of the map though. Doesn't look like they're opting to save right now. Trying to let person hang on hook so that they can get more time on generators. Another big blast coming in. Going to be putting another survivor into tier 3s. You know, doing an excellent job managing that. A lot of built-in time waste in Doctor's Kit if you know how to utilize it. Looks like Xeno's just going to be opting to secure this at second at 4 gens, which is a very, very strong start. Doesn't look like anyone can come in for save in time. I think they just need to find a way to reset and try to play this a little slower. They need to put good pressure on these generators, though. Second stage comes in, and again, I would like to note, for this tier of killers, there is no 40 people in play, so this chase just kind of has to be perfect if they want to keep this person in the game for as long as possible. Save the best for last. I'm going to allow him to recover very quickly. I don't even know if he can make shock pallet because the shock's going to come in, and he's not going to be able to drop the pallet in time. He's going to have to die under it, but everyone is injured right now. This could be a snowball situation, especially with the high amount of stacks of save. This is looking really, really rough for Eternal right now. Blasting, make sure no one is around for the save. Doesn't look like anyone is, unless someone pops out of Shack Locker right now. It's gonna be a kill at 4 generators. That's quite impressive from the Elysium side here. Injuries all across the board. This is looking very, very, very bad for Eternal. Xeno coming in strong. Find scratches. They were able to get 1 reset on the board, which could allow for them to recover a little bit here, but with 2 people injured, Xeno can just choose who to chase and play for down on them for another pain res. Every survivor currently is worth a pain res hook as well. Bit of gen pressure on this side of the map. They're doing a great job pre-leaving. They just do not want to take chase right now. Eventually, though, they're going to run out of resources and they're going to have a weaker chase. Try kicking main gen. Still looking around for more survivors. I think that they might try to hide and reset here, but Xeno has really good pressure on these generators. Finds Dwight here, though. Looks like Eternal's opting to play really aggressively here, not resetting. Xeno, again, playing off of Madness, just trying to slowly shock people. So I'm not able to find anyone on this side. He really wants to try to find someone caught out. They do pop a generator, but I think Xeno is opting to just hold this 3-gen. Another injured survivor running around main building. This pallet has been used, though. A well-timed shock could stop the window vault from happening. That's going to be the shot coming in. Xeno's going to be committing chase to Claudette around main building, who's now in tier 3 and injured. We have this filler here, which can be pretty solid if dropped on the correct side. Don't know if they're going to be able to make it back around with it being so short. Oh, Xeno has pallet control. This could be bad. They hold W, though. Excellent call here from our Claudette, just taking distance away towards another pallet, although a well-timed shock here stops the pallet from getting dropped. Running around the longer side of the pallet here. Just doing a great job. A hit take needs to come in here. That's going to be another stack of save, though. 6 stacks of save and keeping it rolling. Shot coming here on the Claudettes. They're gonna make, yeah, they do make it again. EU to EU, no focus. Another generator pops. Is Eternal gonna somehow manage to turn this around with the current situation? I think Xeno needs to go full aggressive here and just play for stages. There's a long wall down here, which is, you know, much more playable than all these filler pallets. They do make the window vault just barely. Now they're getting resets because they're able to relieve a little bit of the pressure on them right now. Xeno, well-timed shock, just going back and forth, trying to force a 50-50 pallet drop, but he does actually manage to catch a little bit more out of position on his Claudette here, and if he's able to get this down, which he is able to get for another stack of save, that's going to be a pickup and another pain res. Excellent chase here from Pedro, though, wasting as much time as he possibly can. That's just kind of what Eternal needed if they wanted to find any way of coming back from the current situation. Another pain res coming in here on the central hook. Very lucky RNG. Getting a central pain res hook like that is so powerful. Getting Dwight into tier 3 now. Kicking main gen. Knows where both survivors are as well. You know, opting to just shock. If he can get Nia into the tier 3 here. Yep, both survivors in tier 3. Neither of them can work generators. Doesn't quite get the reach on that shock in time. Gets the tag onto Dwight. Going to be opting to play for the Claudette, though. Not lose as many stacks to save and just go for another tunnel out. This is a very, very solid loop, though. This could be very hard to play around. Just a lot of time waste here, even though it will eventually end up being a down. Xeno going back and forth on this pallet. He's dropping chase. And nope. Nope, he's committing. Now he's dropping chase and going towards main building, though, which will allow Dwight and Claudette to reset, though. Unfortunately for Xeno. He's really trying to prevent this 3-gen from getting done, but in the process, he's allowing them to relieve a little bit of their pressure right now. Xeno really needs to get this tag onto Nightlight before they get the reset off. Nightlight taking chase over towards this tile. Maze tile here, he could waste a lot of time. Gets the pallet drop. Xeno shocking, just trying to prevent him from getting window or pallet here. Nightlight is wasting time running around at very wide, just making sure that there's no 50-50s to be had, just running in a full circle. Xeno not able to catch Nightlight off guard with the double back. They have the full resets on the board now. This is very recoverable from Eternal now. Will he get the window in time? Doesn't look like he will, so that's going to be the tag coming in. Continuing chase here. This is another very solid pallet. Nightlight playing his 50-50, vaulting very quickly. Does not quite get the connection either. Nightlight wasting a lot of time on this pallet. Xeno needs this down, needs this pain res, but they could be splitting on 2 different generators right now. We could be going endgame pretty soon. Insane double vault there from Nightlight. Very hard to read that, and is able to get the down now. Can Xeno get the pain res before a generator pops is the question. And this is like Quite the situation for Eternal to be in right now. Looks like the generators are not quite as far along as I would hope they would be for Eternal's sake here. Xeno going to be getting another pain res. Excellent chase there from Nightlight. Some very solid chase coming out from Eternal, trying to recover the pressure that they were put under from the start, and they're able to just bring it back ever so slightly. This is anyone's game at this point. Xeno still has his 3-gen intact, though. No, I stand corrected. He does not have his 3-gen intact. I am wrong. He's now chasing Claudette towards the shack. He just wants to play for stage. Now, again, WinCon, I'm a little iffy on myself, but I think it is somewhere around the lines of 9 stages, 9-10 stages for the win for Elysium. And I would also like to note, going back to what I said in the previous set, under OTF rules, a tie here would also secure the win for Elysium because a tie would count as a 1-1 for both, which would end up being a 2-1 for Elysium. So if Elysium is aware of that, they can play for tie condition and still win as well. But again, really hard win condition to call. I wouldn't be surprised if the team's having a hard time counting it too. With the hatch escape at 1 generator, it's a little messy. But back to the current game. Nia taking some distance here towards a filler pallet. I don't think they can make it back around before the shock here. Nightlight just trying to waste as much time as possible. Gets hit, can't quite make the window. I think unhooking in the process might have actually hurt them in the long run because now it's going to be another hook coming in and not much time waste for that hook. They're still at 2 generators. They need to get out of this game if they want to win the set and go tiebreaker. Going to be kicking main gen. Just trying to hold this gen as much as possible. The furthest gen away gets popped now. Xeno gets a shock on both survivors. He can hold them away from the gens and from the hook now since they're on the same side of the map, which is exactly what he's opting to do. If he can secure this death onto Nightlight and just play for more stages from there, he could be in a very solid position for the win. They need to pressure this main gen and get the unhook, or pressure the main gen and pressure the gen over at 3. They need solid chases though, and with one of them being injured, that could be kind of difficult to manage. Looks like Xeno's going to be securing this kill. He knows he has enough time to do that. Main gen does have a good amount of progress though, so he might need to go over there and check on it. No one can come in time. Main gen, not as much pressure as Eternal probably hoped for, but that does mean that they have good pressure on the other gen at 3 as well, and I think Xeno might be aware of that. It looks like whoever was working main gen was trying to hide it out, but they weren't able to, and it's unfortunately the injured survivor. This chase needs to be solid, and if they're not able to, this could be lights out for Eternal right here, right now. Mind game on the rock, and gets the down. Very hard to play around that as survivor. You need to be extremely good on your reaction time. There should be another pain res hook coming in since I don't think Dwight has been hooked yet. Yep, there's the last pain res, which probably will secure. The unfortunate circumstance that Eternal's in is just solidified now. I think if Xeno camps this to death, that should be the win for Elysium, as long as I'm not mistaken. And it's not really possible to get a 1-for-1, or sorry, to get a save in the current situation. I think Xeno is perfectly fine just sitting here letting them pop gen and escape to secure that win con. There's really not a whole lot Eternal can do at this point, because even trading a 1-for-1 is going to do a whole lot. Force back to save, etc., etc., shocking hook. There's just not really anything you can do in the situation. Eternal played this so well. They had such a rough start, and the fact that they were able to recover to the point they are now, I honestly thought that they could have pulled off the win. They were so close to it, too. Again, as I like to say, DBD is just one mistake away from being anyone's game. No matter the start you have, no matter the mid-game you have, if one side makes a big enough mistake, the other side can capitalize on that, and that's what makes these teams so great. They catch the little mistakes, they catch the big mistakes, they punish it, they play around it, and that's how they're able to secure these wins. That's going to be last gen popped here for Eternal side. Xeno now venturing off, going to be wanting that last chase. Pedro doing a good job keeping out of sight. Making his way up towards the top side here at this maze tile that Nightlight wasted so much time on before. This is going to be final chase of the game. I think he might try to play for Hatch if he can make it down there. But with 4 stacks of save, I don't think he's going to be making it very far. We'll have to see. He's running down to Hatch. He doesn't play for Hatch. I think he just wants to chase. That's fair enough, honestly. I respect it. Running up towards this filler pallet here above Shack. Gonna get shocked, and I don't know if there's much that he can do in situations. Xeno swinging a miss. Very excellent play there from Pickle. Running around the longer side here. Will he get mind game? No, he will not. He is playing this so well in this filler, but he's gonna go down on it eventually. Very excellent play here from both sides. Xeno showing a little bit of the shock there, and that is gonna be the 4K at 0 generators, securing the win for Elysium here in our Elysium versus Eternal match. No Billy tiebreaker today, unfortunately, but we had a couple of good matches, a lot of back and forth, but Elysium did come out on top in the end. Both teams playing exceptionally well, as we know, 2 titans of the DVD comp community. Very fun to see them early on in this tourney in week 1 playing, and of course we are still in the group stage, so no one is going anywhere. So if you enjoyed seeing these teams play, you'll get to see them again in the coming weeks. So thank you guys so much for joining us here at Outrun the Fog. We appreciate you guys being here. We're a new tourney, we're starting up. We're really enjoying our time so far, and hopefully you guys enjoyed your time here too. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you for the next games. Bye bye now.